Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney Grayton. I'm a loctician and natural hair stylist and educator. So over here on my side of YouTube, you'll find expert information on caring for your locks and other lifestyle content. So check out my channel. In this video, it's going to be another short video. This is a question that I get very often, and honestly today I have some examples in my own head to show you, so I figured let me go ahead and answer that question. So as you can tell by the title, this video is going to be about flat locks. If you're not too familiar with what a flat lock is, it's probably because you haven't necessarily come across it, which is actually a good thing. But I have a couple locks like here and there that are on the verge of going flat if I don't do what I'm going to tell y'all to do in this video. So just stay tuned and we're gonna get into it. So flat locks are literally just that, locks that have gotten flat, where locks are mostly round, you know, more of like a cylinder shape. Some of them tend to get more flat. That happens literally just by, for whatever reason, the lock laying flat. So for some people, you know, if you are the type of person that keeps your hair tied up most of the time, where your locks are for the most part kind of like this in a scarf, do-rag, whatever the case may be, for a majority of the time or for a long period of time, you will be bound to have some locks that remain kind of flat. For the most part, locks, especially in the starter lock phase, I'm coming up on around like 9 to 10 months. Yeah, I'm coming up on 10 months actually, which is crazy. So my locks are definitely, you know, a lot more mature than they were in the beginning. A lot of this is budded and everything. But for the most part, my locks can still be flattened. As you can see here, if I do this, my locks will be flattened. If I were to do something where I kind of like sandwich my lock in between something for a long period of time, this lock will become flat. And for a lot of people, even with your mature locks, they're still, for the most part, very kind of like porous or still very malleable. So if you are not careful, you can find yourself with flat locks as well. I recently went on a trip to Spain, and then also for the last like week and a half I've been recovering from surgery. Don't worry, it's nothing too major, but I've been doing a lot of resting, a lot of laying down, and to be honest, I don't always cover my hair or anything. Sometimes I'm just laying down and I fall asleep and I wake up and my hair was not covered. So some of the back of my hair is a little flat this way, and I have noticed that there are a few of my locks where, especially at the root where it's not locked, where there's that loose hair, that new growth, it is definitely flat. I think it will be hard for me to show you, but here is one, and that root is pretty flat for the most part. This one again, also pretty flat. There are a couple ways to fix it. So in the case of like my locks where I'm catching it very quickly, even though they have taken the shape of like kind of flat right now, that's really more so temporary. The way to have your locks not flat is to allow them to expand. And what makes your locks expand? Water. So I'm gonna wash my hair, and that water should do the trick as far as all of the little areas that are flat. They will swell up and change shape. Definitely looking forward to getting my hair some hydration, because normally even if my hair kind of like looks dry, I can still touch it and still feel remnants of some moisture, but it has been a while. So it has been a while, so it definitely is a little dry today. And I've also been trying to keep up with my hydration as well, like just sleeping and medicine and all of that stuff. It's like, whew, I have been struggling, but kicking up my hydration today. I've been drinking a lot of water and everything. When I had someone caring for me, it was so much easier to get my water intake because she was filling my bottle up all the time. So now that I've been home kind of resting by myself. Okay, so if y'all don't know, I live in Maryland, or right outside of DC, so I'm by a couple like bases, army bases, and that is not a, you know, uncommon occurrence. So, whew, my stomach hurts. Whew. yes, I'm going to actually rest a little bit because I'm getting a little tired, and then I'm going to wash my hair. However, like I said, let's go ahead and get into the people. If you've noticed that some of your locks are flat and they're mature and they're just stuck that way, you know, that usually happens when your locks are already mature, or when they're in this state, they get flat and then you don't do too much to hydrate it. That's for people who would like to go a long time without washing their hair, people who maybe wear a lot of like ponytails, they're brushing their locks back into ponytails or up into ponytails. The locks are just literally laying flat on the head, and they're allowed to stay that way and mature that way. So if you are in a place where your locks are flat and water isn't changing that shape, you definitely might want to go ahead and with some crocheting, which is going to literally allow you to reform that lock and crochet it in the way that it needs to be. I wish I had something. Actually, my cat is playing with this right now. It's just like a string from a shirt. So she's gonna play. But just imagine your lock is like this flat, okay? Imagine your lock is this flat. You're gonna have to crochet in a way that brings these flatter parts together, and you're crocheting it so that it becomes more of like a circle. You're gonna be going around crocheting, 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 so that it looks more round. Now, a lot of times when you crochet the lock, it does kind of make it skinnier, but if you are very concerned with changing the shape of that flat lock, then that's just something to keep in mind. Whew. Round. I've been laying, you can tell I can't lay on my sides right now or on my stomach, so I've been laying flat on my back. And because my locks are still very malleable, they're short, they're, you know, not even a year old, they're going to stay in the shape or in the form that I lay them. Here's another one that's a good example. Can you see this one? That root is flat, y'all. It is not circular. It's kind of like this. That root is flat. Imagine if I were putting my hair in a ponytail that stretched this lock like this and left it like that. It would lock that way. So put it in the water. It's going to allow this to shrink back closer to my head and bring it back to normal. Leave any comments below if you have more questions. You can book a consultation if you'd like me to look at your locks, and also I repair locks. So if you have some flat locks that need repairing, that need some shaping, definitely come out to my salon and I can take care of you. My camera's about to die, and that's actually all I have to say about flat locks. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful, and I will see you in my next one. Like I mentioned, washing my hair definitely helped the roots to puff up. They're not looking flat. I can't even find the one that I was talking about earlier that was flat, because the roots have now shrunk and they're all puffy. None of them are flat.
I'm telling you that there ain't no other way. Pack your bags and then you will go away. I'm not gonna be begging you to stay. Said maybe if you asked me yesterday, I would handle this shit differently. Things are different, I'm a new me. That's not gonna happen.